Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to you all. Today, we're diving into a skill that is so powerful, it can honestly change every single relationship you have. We're talking about the art of truly listening. Or, as we say so beautifully in Urdu, the wajju se sunna. That means listening with your complete and total focus with your whole being. So, are you ready to transform your connections? Let's get started.
Just take a second and really think about that. When was the last time someone put their phone down, put everything else aside, looked you in the eye, and gave you their 100% undivided attention? You know that moment where you just felt that what you were saying, what you were feeling, actually mattered to them? It's an incredible feeling, isn't it? But for so many of us, it's also incredibly rare.
Oh, we've all seen this movie before, right? Just picture it. A wife, she finally gets a moment to talk to her husband after a long, crazy day. She's trying to unload, share her frustrations, her exhaustion, and he's kind of half listening, but his eyes and his thumbs are glued to his phone. In that moment, she doesn't just feel ignored, she feels invisible. And it's in these tiny, everyday moments of disconnection that relationships really start to suffer. The good news? We can fix this.
Now, here's the thing that's so interesting about all this. We tend to think of listening as, passive, something that just happens to us. But that's not listening. That's just hearing. Real, genuine listening is an active skill. It's a choice. It takes intention, it takes practice, and today I'm going to break down a really simple but super powerful 4-step framework that will help you become a master at it. Okay, so here's our game plan. 4 clear, totally doable steps. First, we're going to clear the way by removing all distractions. Second, we're going to tune into what they're actually feeling. Third, and trust me, this one is a total game changer. We're going to learn to validate their feelings instead of jumping in with advice. And finally, we'll learn how to open up the conversation even more with simple questions. So, let's jump into step 1. Everything starts here. Step 1. Sari rukavatain hatayan. Remove all obstacles. You know, in our culture, when a guest comes over, we clear the best space for them. It's a sign of deep respect. We're going to apply that exact same idea here. To really, truly listen, you first have to create a space where that conversation can be honored. Now, the outside blockers are pretty obvious, right? Your phone, the TV, looking around the room. But the biggest, toughest one to beat? It's the one that's inside your own head. It's that little voice that's already busy planning what you're going to say next, crafting that perfect reply, instead of just receiving what's being said right now. So, the key idea is this. What does this moment, right here, right now, demand from you? If someone is opening up to you, the one and only demand of that moment is to listen. Being fully present for another person is an act of faith, an act of respect, and that's the ground where real connection starts to grow. All right, let's move on to our second step. Once that space is clear, you can shift from just being physically present to being emotionally curious. Jazbat ko samjhe. And in our language, jazbat means more than just feelings. It's about those deep, sometimes unspoken emotional currents. This step is all about learning to feel those currents. Your only job here is to be a feelings detective. That's it. You're just trying to figure out the emotion without slapping a label on it like good or bad or right or wrong. Are they sharing with joy? Can you hear frustration in their tone? Do you sense some sadness behind their words? Just assess, don't judge. Okay, here we go. This brings us to what might be the most powerful and honestly the most difficult step of them all. Step 3. Tasdik kare mashwara nahi. Validate, don't advise. This is where our natural instinct to fix everything and give solutions can really get us into trouble, right at the moment when the other person needs us the most. This example just says it all, doesn't it? A child runs to you crying because they hurt their hand. The wrong way immediately blames them. It adds shame on top of their pain. But the right way? That's pure validation. Show me where it hurts. See? You're not fixing the problem yet. You are connecting with their pain first. And that tells them your feeling is real. It's safe. And I'm right here with you. I'm going to say that one more time because this is the absolute core of this whole thing. No suggestions, no solutions. Not yet. When you just acknowledge their feeling, maybe with something like, wow, that sounds so tough, or I can totally see why you'd feel angry about that. You give them an amazing gift. You make them feel seen. And here's the secret. People aren't ready for solutions until they first feel understood. So you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but why the strict order? Can't I just offer a little advice if I have a really good idea? And that's a fantastic question. The reason is absolutely critical. I want you to think like a firefighter.
When they get to a burning house, they don't just run in and start spraying water everywhere, right? That could actually make the fire spread and make things way worse. No, they follow a process. They secure the area, they assess the fire, they check their gear, and then they act with a plan. Giving advice before you validate someone's feelings is like spraying water randomly on an emotional fire. You usually just make it bigger.
And that structured approach brings us right to our final step. This is the moment where you finally get to speak with purpose. Step 4, Sade Saval Puche. Ask simple questions. And these are not an interrogation, okay? They're just gentle invitations for the other person to share a little more of their world with you.
I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day. A judging question like, why on earth would you do that, just puts them on defense and slams the door shut. But a simple, curious question like, what was going through your mind then? That just opens the door wide. It shows you trust them and you genuinely want to understand, not to correct them.
So, when you put all of this together, when you start by removing distractions, then you work to understand their emotions, you validate those feelings without any judgment, and then you ask those gentle questions, you're doing something so much bigger than just hearing words. You are building a powerful bridge of trust. You are offering the ultimate act of respect and connection.
And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. Who in your life really deserves this incredible gift? Maybe it's your child, your spouse, a parent, a friend. Who will you choose to practice truly listening to today?
Before we go, just a quick note that this explainer is based on a session by Sobhi and Irene. A few ideas and sentences might be a little different from the original material, as this was an AI-assisted production by Sobhi. If you're interested in counseling sessions or further studies, please feel free to contact the number you see on your screen. That's +92 320 56 36 775. And for any questions, you can always send an email to educationbysobia@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us.